Ancient Sunlight is a citywide project across Exeter and across Devon, and the idea is to bring people together to try and answer the question, what would we do with the last barrel of oil?
I got really interested in the story of oil running out as a story, so I suppose I was really interested in this kind of abundance of energy that we have now in the planet's history, and wanted to have a conversation about what it would be like if we didn't have that abundance. So I suppose we wanted to challenge some of our really fundamental ideas about food or about love or about technology within the frame of an oil age. So we named the age, the oil age, as a way of saying this moment will come to an end at some point.
Listening to the story about the last barrel of oil was really interesting because it made you think more about what's actually going on in the world and
how much we depend on oil.
Yeah.
That's really amazing because kind of how almost everything has been affected by oil, or it's used oil to become what it is. So if without oil, we pretty much
would be non-existent.
But we will adapt to not use oil.
Yeah.
So,
We were trying to think hopefully about the world and optimistically about the world, not just in a kind of doom-laden, well, Hollywood does the doom of, you know, the end of energy really well, and we wanted to talk about positive stories as well as deal with the challenging issues, I suppose.
So one of the things that's really significant about Exeter's history is that it has this incredible collection of secular and non-secular writing and prose, which is all within a particular time frame, so medieval kind of history. And we were interested in what a present-day contemporary version of that book might look like. And so we began thinking about how we might create something similar, and that's how we began the journey of creating this book with young people.
We did have the idea that we would collect lots of voices of now and put them into one volume, and we have divided that up with different paper types so that as you go through it, you kind of dip in, move through different voices but also different tones and different textures of paper.
So we brought 5 animateurs into the project, each to lead on a particular theme of love, food, technology, leadership and justice, which make up the 5 books of Ancient Sunlight.
We worked really hard about the design of the book. We wanted something that you could hold. So I think the reason it seems biblical is probably because of its size and it's a hardback, but we particularly wanted it to be an object as well, that you felt that it had some connection with you even as you held it. So that was a really important aspect, was how it was physically designed. And you work with young people and they say the most profound things you've ever heard. And there's some writing in the Book of Technology that is just put straight in there from the young people in year 6 who wrote it, which when I read it just sends a tingle up my spine. It's amazing. And for example, in the Book of Technology, one young person said, I think the technology that we need in the future is the technology of love. This is a really incredibly profound observation, in my opinion.
I will hide in your cupboards and under your beds. I will float around and sink in and out of the walls, scaring young to old. I will find you, but you can control me. You can expose me for who or what I am. Tell people of me in light and dark. I want to change, to bring light on this broken world. But all of the changes will come in time. I will never be accepted as hope.
And so we weren't trying to create a book that was just children's work printed in a book, but that also had professional artists to edit that work or to create their own content, and to try and find a process that felt truly collaborative and truly open.
I hope that you get the sense of this oily ink that we worked into and marked out of and rubbed out of and printed and revealed and hid again and exposed and bore these words and images.
Some point boil down to this lovely little thing that you can hold in your hand like that and open like this and go, oh, something different on every page and a space for the reader as well to put their own mark on it.
My favourite thing about the process was the fact that it wasn't just a whole load of stuff that didn't join together, but it had this beautiful arc about the abundance of now, the crisis of not having that, and then this hope. And each book does this beautiful narrative arc that's incredibly touching. And when you read it all, there are all sorts of different tones within it, but they all have this bounce up to this kind of human, emotional hope about a future, which is just incredible.